Hello and welcome to Segments with Mark and Amber. Segments is a comedy podcast where in each episode, Amber and I choose a topic and we talk about it in a variety of segments. My name is Mark, and with me as always is my lovely co-host, Amber.
That introduction didn't give very much away.
No, I was going to say that Amber is quite a snack, but I didn't know if that was appropriate.
That might have worked.
Okay, with me as always is my lovely little snack, Amber.
That's worth saying.
Okay.
This is episode 43, and we are talking about Chips.
Chips.
Not the motorcycle TV show or the movie by Dak Shepard about the motorcycle.
Those were both
cops.
chips. Yeah,
We
California
are talking
Highway
about
Patrol.
the food chips.
Chips. Yeah, it's kind of a throwback episode, is what I like to think about it as.
One of the like a segments classic.
A segments classic.
We've talked about potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
but not specifically.
Yeah, it's
chips.
It's like when Coca-Cola came out with New Coke,
Yeah.
and people were unhappy.
Uh-huh.
Let's just say Harry Potter is the new Coke of segments.
Oh, no. I thought you were going to say we did potatoes. That was Coke. Now we're doing chips. That's the new Coke.
Nope.
You were talking Harry Potter's the new Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they kept it on the shelves for a while. And so will we. But
You know
not
what?
this episode.
Somebody liked it.
I think people...
Somebody
yeah.
liked New Coke, and it was, sometimes things are different and good, but you still like the classic.
Yeah. So the format of this episode is we're going to have a short history of the chip.
We haven't done that segment in a long time.
No, a little short history segment. That's one of our best. And we're also going to do a top 5 chips.
A classic segment.
Yep, we have a chip quiz titled Chippin' for the Win.
That's right. A classic quiz. So this is just going to be for all those hankering, for just a classic episode. You're in for a treat, a chip treat.
Lucky you.
So Amber, before we get into the chip talk, let's dive into our feedback.
Yeah, if you are hearing us read someone else's feedback and you think, I wish I would have left some feedback or I might want to do that in the future, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SegmentsCast, and you can email us segmentscast@gmail.com.
All right, so we're going to jump right in with some nerd talk. Friend of the show, Sarah, she Facebooked us and said, I'm a Hufflepuff, and my wand is a willow wood with a phoenix core feather, 12 1/4 inches, slightly yielding flexibility.
Aha.
That seems like a pretty long wand.
It is. Hard to fit in the pocket.
But you always got to be happy with that phoenix core feather. I was just reading the second book, Chamber of Secrets, and Harry was in Dumbledore's office, and that phoenix fox just burst right into flame.
Oh, that's what they do.
Little baby phoenix came climbing out of the ashes.
Yeah, so just in case you are just a chip fan who found our podcast because of that, our last episode was about the first Harry Potter book and movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because we are here in the United States.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Our next feedback was from Amy. She said, are you doing all 7 books as the next 7 episodes? Now, that's a tricky thing with text. It's hard to tell. It's like, are you going to do them all in the next 7 episodes? Should I stay tuned? Or, oh my gosh, is it 7 in a row?
Yeah, that needed an emoji. Either like that kind of like grimacing emoji, like, are you going to be doing all 7 books? Or a big smile with
Do we get to? I think it would have been worded different if it was real excited. Like, do we get all 7 in a row?
So Amber and I are split on this. Okay. I felt like Amy was excited that we were going to do all 7. And Amber is maybe leaning the other way. So
I don't know. Regardless, we love you, Amy.
So we responded and said yes. And
she said,
Amy said, good to know. Thank you. Which seems like a very polite response that also doesn't give anything away.
Yeah, disappointed that she's going to have to wait longer than 7 episodes to get to the last one, or glad that we get some classic episodes mixed in here with our Harry Potter book club.
But depending on what side of the aisle Amy is on, there's other people with her.
Yeah, that's right.
So, friend of the show, Laura said, I like Tom Hanks more than Harry Potter.
Yeah, and we didn't really ask if that which one people liked better.
Yeah.
But that was the previous episode, Tom Hanks.
Yep.
So
And then Jill, our friend of the show, said same.
we got some Tom Hanks fans.
With Jill, I couldn't quite tell. I assumed that Jill was a Harry Potter fan. I could be
Yes,
wrong.
I would
Maybe
think so.
she just doesn't like Harry, and she's more of like a Snape, Dumbledore kind of a
Oh,
fan.
maybe she's
or
talking about the specific person
she's like,
of
I don't
Harry
like
Potter.
Harry Potter. I'm more of a Hermione Granger fan. We don't know.
Possibly.
We don't know.
Possibly.
Again, not quite easy to read the text here.
No,
So.
no emoji.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
But
Bobby Joe said this was so fun. 4 exclamation points.
yeah.
Aaron and I are excited to watch and read these with the kids. We haven't yet, but we will start this summer.
Very exciting.
So they will not be able to jump in with the kids to our podcast because we're offering a lot of spoilers.
It's very spoilery.
Aaron and Bobby Joe can listen to it because they've already read the books.
That is right. And Bobby Joe also sent you a text, right, Amber?
Yes, she is also a Hufflepuff. She has a laurelwood wand with a unicorn core. It's only 10 inches long and slightly yielding flexibility. Mine was 9 3/4. I had that special
Oh, yeah, that's right.
magical length.
Man, mine wasn't very flexible.
No.
So, yeah, we haven't got into our Patronus yet. All this Harry Potter talk is super nerdy. Have you noticed? Have you sensed it?
I just think it's fun.
It's fun. That's what I meant, fun and nerdy. So can you tell me, what are the characteristics of the Hufflepuff?
Hufflepuff, I think, is
Friendly.
friendly, maybe loyal and true, or is
Loyal.
that Gryffindor?
I can't remember. We'll have to
Weren't
look
you
that
a
up.
Hufflepuff?
No, I'm a Ravenclaw.
Oh, that's right.
Correct. So-
Interesting.
And yeah, so we'll get into that next time. And then finally, we got some feedback from friend of the show, Nancy. She said, "Love Harry Potter. Caitlin has the books in French."
Yeah, ooh la la.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter.
and Nancy also commented on the segments.libsyn.com episode page. She said, "Hey, Mark, nothing wrong with Twilight." And I just put this on the rundown, Amber, because I just wanted to clear this up. I couldn't tell because of the text, the difficulty
Right.
of interpreting text. If I had said something offensive about Twilight, I was just kidding. I think I've read all of them and watched the movies
Yes.
with Amber, and we've had a great time chatting
Yes.
about them. I think they are fun. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with Twilight, and but I do love to give Amber a real hard time about it. It's one of my fun things.
I can take it.
You can take it. All right, Amber. Hey, guess what? It's time
What?
for a new segment.
Ooh.
New segment I'm calling Hanks, but not Thanks. No, that's not what I'm calling it. Dang it. Let me try that again.
Okay.
Amber, it's time for a new segment.
Ooh.
It's a little segment that I'm calling Hanks, but no Hanks. Let me try that again. Amber.
A coterie of collectors. Okay.
All right, Amber, are you ready? Nope. Amber. Amber, it's time for a new segment.
Ooh, okay. It's a real clever title.
Amber, it's time for a new segment. It's a little something I'm calling Hanks, but no Hanks. No. Let's try that again. Okay. Amber.
Okay.
Amber, it's time for a new segment. A little something I'm calling Hanks, but no Hanks. No! Hanks, but no thanks. Hanks, but no thanks.
That's really clever. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, I guess.
Well, it's written wrong on my rundown, so it's hard for me to overcome it.
Apparently.
Okay.
Okay.
Amber, it's time for a new segment. A little segment I'm calling Hanks, but no... Hanks, but no thanks.
There you go. I love
Okay.
it. Okay.
All right. Amber, it's time for a new segment. It's a segment I'm calling Hanks, but no thanks.
Okay.
Okay, this is hopefully a reoccurring segment where we look at what's happened with Tom Hanks in the news.
Uh-huh.
As we have learned, you are not alone in the dislike for Tom Hanks. Most of America, I would say 98% of America and probably 99% of the world loves Tom Hanks.
I've noticed that.
But here's somebody who's on your side. This is from an article from spin.com from June 6, 2019. The article is called Darius Rucker on Tom Hanks, F. Tom Hanks.
Whoa.
I didn't say the word.
Right.
So Hootie and the Blowfish's album, Cracked Rear View, came out 25 years ago in 1994.
Wow.
So we were living in the kind of the 25-year anniversary of Cracked Rear View.
That's when we started dating, 1994.
Interesting.
Maybe. Yeah.
And so here's just a little bit from the article. Although the band was regarded as a punchline by fans of harder and more outwardly subversive musicians and never embraced by critics, that seems harsh, Cracked Rear View was, as Karamanica writes, he's the author, one of the defining albums of the 1990s. That is true. Spawning 3 indelible, sublime top 10 hits, Hold My Hand, Let Her Cry, and Only Want to Be With You.
Those were all really catchy.
Great songs. It's actually the 10th most successful album of all time in this country, according to the Recording Industry Association of America certification.
Okay. Those are pretty big, good stats there.
10th most successful album of all time.
They were indelible, sublime top 10.
Indelible, sublime. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's how we all describe them.
Yeah.
And here's another quote. Still, frontman Darius Rucker takes issue with the fact that Hootie's impact has seemingly been quietly erased from rock history. Interesting. This feeling most hit home, Rucker says, when he watched an episode of CNN's docuseries The 90s on which Tom Hanks served as an executive producer. How the bleep can you do a show about 90s music and not mention Cracked, Rucker told The Times. He added, F. Tom Hanks. The Times, per tradition, omitted the curses in question here, but we're just going to go ahead and assume he said the, F word.
The full word.
The full word, Tom Hanks. But it looks like Tom Hanks is just one of several executive producers and 19 producers overall if you look at the 90s IMDb page. So Darius,
perhaps the most famous producer.
Oh, for sure.
It might not have been his
Probably
choice
top
exactly
dog.
what was included in the docuseries.
Yeah, but I think that it is interesting that Darius, a little sensitive about this. I feel like there's a wound here and that's deeper than this.
Well, once the Recording Industry Association of America certified them as the 10th most successful album of all time, he probably just assumed they'd be included in any future docuseries.
I guess I don't really have anything else to say about that, Amber, but Darius and you are disapproving of...
so far I think the only people we have proof of not liking him are celebrities who've had a personal interaction with him somehow, not just like a random girl like myself who's seen almost all of his movies and enjoyed most of them.
Yeah, and for some reason still dislike him. So, it's interesting. Well, I think I saw so Toy Story 4 is out, and so there's a lot of interviews out there, and Tom Hanks and the guy who plays Buzz,
Tim Allen,
doing a lot of previews or interviews together, and it seems like they're pretty good friends.
They didn't seem strained.
They didn't seem strained at all, and actually they talked about how much they like each other and dinners they've enjoyed with one another.
Are they getting paid to say that?
That could be. It could be a big conspiracy.
And I bet Tom likes Tim. But does Tim like Tom?
Yeah. And
how good of an actor is he?
Yeah. Tom is a little bit more, has had a little more longevity in his career arc.
Tim Allen is real lucky he landed this Toy Story.
Yeah, the Toy Story thing is real good
and
for Tim.
Santa Claus 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes, absolutely. So there you go. That's all I have for Hanks, but no thanks.
What a great title.
Thank you. So, Amber, let's jump right into what's making you happy right now.
What's making me happy right now is a new recipe. And I've already told some people that I'm sure are part of our huge listening audience, but I've discovered a new delicious meal made with cauliflower rice. Yeah, cauliflower rice is a new thing. People are trying to make cauliflower like the healthier potato, or you can make a cauliflower crust pizza. You can put cauliflower rice apparently in stir fries and curries. But what the recipe that I found, I'm going to give credit to Allie Fedorowski. She's a former bachelorette.
Oh, okay.
She's now married, not to anyone from the show. She's healthy and wonderful. She's not a recent bachelorette contestant.
Good to know.
I really enjoy her Instagram account. Anyway, she has a recipe you can find on her website, allieloves.com, for this cauliflower rice salad, and it is so good. So it's just got a few ingredients. You get the cauliflower rice either frozen or fresh from the produce department. Fresh was better. You put it in a skillet with some onion and let it brown just for a little bit, and that's the only cooking you do. Then you put it in a bowl, and you put in a ton of herbs.
Lots of herbs.
Like a cup of each of these herbs: cilantro, mint, and parsley. So it's real green. It's kind of like tabbouleh, that Middle Eastern parsley salad. A lot of herbs. The mint, I think, is very strong, so I don't usually use a full cup. And by the time it's chopped, it's not a full cup. But anyway, you also put in edamame and dried cranberries and sliced almonds and lemon juice.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
It is just real fresh tasting, a little crunch to it, a little sweet from the cranberries.
Yeah.
I think it's delightful.
It is delightful. We've had it 2 or 3 times now, and I've loved it each time. So good.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, not me.
She said they eat it all the time, and they can't even wait for it to cool down, even though it's supposed to be cold, because they like it so much, and her 2-year-old eats it. So that's how I gave it a try,
Yeah.
and it was great.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like our norm
No.
at this house, but it was great, and I'm really glad that Allie led you right to that recipe.
Me too. Well, Mark, what's making you happy right now?
Well, Amber, what's making me happy right now is something that hasn't quite happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of happened in a sense, but it's still pending.
Just the anticipation.
The anticipation.
Is making you happy.
So, Amber just got a new planner.
Yeah.
It is the Simplified Planner by, I think it's Emily Lay.
That sounds right.
And we got it at, they sell it at Office Depot now. I think it used to be an online order, but it must have
Well, you
grown
can probably
in
customize it a little bit if you do it online.
Yeah, it's grown in
That's a lot of
popularity now.
pressure.
It's available right here in town, and it starts in July. And the reason I'm excited about this is because I have purchased Amber numerous planners over the years,
Yeah.
and because I am passionate about planners, I love the paper of them. I love the scheduling of them. I love the forecasting and the thinking through and the blocking off time and the claiming of my week, which takes place when I prepare my weekly planner.
Yeah, you're really good at using a planner to its maximum.
I try to. I even follow some Insta people that are really into planners, and that makes me look like I'm not into planners at all.
I see. So you have room to grow even.
I have some room to grow, but I'm utilizing it, and it's helping me to think through things.
Yeah, you're an inspiration.
And so I use the Passion Planner, which is just great. It's got it's got a week, 2 pages to a week. Each day is broken down into half-hour segments from like 5 a.m. till 10 p.m.
Nice.
So it covers it's the whole day. Sometimes you'll get like 7 to 6 or something. It's like, how can I do a lot of stuff at night?
That's for sure.
You gotta let me have room there.
Yeah.
But it also has kind of a to-do part. It has a little section that says what good thing happened this week. At the top, across each week, it has, what is your focus. But this is what's making me happy. Is not about me. This is not about my Passion Planner. It's about that Amber is 1 week away from beginning to use her new Simplified Planner. It starts in July of 2019, and we will be able to collaborate, and we will be able to think through our weeks, and it's just going to make life so much better. And just because there's 2 unused planners that I've purchased for Amber sitting in a cupboard right now, that doesn't mean that this one's going to be unused.
No, I have a good feeling about this one. I think I've weeded out what I don't like.
I think that's exactly it.
I don't like having to write in all my own stuff. The bullet journal. I don't have time for that.
Nope.
And the last one I got was it has all these insert or removable components.
The discs.
But the binder is a plastic disc. Real clunky to open and close.
It didn't work
If
for
I
you.
would get it all closed and put in my bag and I'd think, oh, I want to add something else to it, it's honestly like, do I want to deal with those discs?
Yeah. It's Amber. Seeing Amber use that planner, it was like one of those infomercials where they're spilling orange juice or cereal all over the kitchen floor because it's, how can you even open this thing? And so hopefully we've solved that. And I think, well, I like to think that I'm a real inspiration to you.
I believe you are, and I'm a real calendar girl.
You are. I mean, you love our wall calendar is beautiful.
Yep.
And so, anyway, so we'll see. I'm pretty excited about that. So that's what's making me happy.
Well,
Amber's new simplified planner.
I'm also happy about that.
Segment 1, a short history of chips. All right, Amber, when we did potatoes, probably, oh man, a while back. Interesting. Here's a side, Amber, on Facebook. You know the flashback, Facebook flashbacks. Earlier, I think it was Sunday, before church, I was looking at Facebook, and I saw that we released our first episode 2 years ago. So we're right at the point of our 2-year anniversary, entering a 3rd year of podcasting.
Interesting. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. And in those formative podcasting months 2 years ago, which would have put us in maybe 2017 somewhere, we talked about potatoes, and we did a short history of potato, which was widely loved, except for one Irishman did not appreciate how we left out some details about a potato famine or something. So we're doing that again, basically is what I'm saying. We're doing the short history again.
I feel like there might even be Irish people in this history.
We'll see. So the earliest known recipe for something similar to today's potato chip is in the English cookbook by the English cook William Kitchener. And his book was called The Cook's Oracle, which was first published in 1817.
Whoa. The
Cook's Oracle. I like that. It seems very kind of mysterious or mystic.
202 years ago.
202 years ago. The 1822's edition had a recipe number 104 called Potatoes Fried in Slices or Shavings. And it reads, peel large potatoes, cut them in shavings round and round as you would peel a lemon. Dry them well in a clean cloth and fry them in lard or drippings.
So the way I would peel a lemon, do you think it's more like a curlicue?
Sounds like a curlicue.
Almost like a fry, but I don't know. It says slices or shavings.
Slices or shavings. And so
maybe he peels a lemon differently.
Well, this was the 1800s.
True.
Lemons may have been different.
I think they were.
So we're not exactly sure. And really, I would need more information from the recipe. But I think people were smarter 200 years ago. They knew enough of their way around a kitchen that they had some basic understandings.
Yeah.
Oh, I need some lard or some dripping. Gotcha. Oh, shave it round and round as I would peel a lemon. Mm-hmm. I obviously know what to do there. I just made some lemonade a minute ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is the first recipe. But there is a legend from Saratoga Springs, Amber, and this was in New York in 1853. Okay? The late 19th century, there's a popular version of this story attributed the dish, potato chips, to George Crumb. An American cook of African-American and Native American heritage at a place called Moon's Lake House. And he was trying to appease an unhappy customer on August 24th, 1853. Okay? And so this customer kept sending his French fried potatoes back, complaining they're too thick, they're too soggy, they're not salted enough. And so Crumb gets really upset, and he personally goes and he slices some potatoes very thin. Extremely thin, and I've watched enough Chopped to know that it's possible with a knife to slice things very, very
almost
thin. Almost see-through, exactly. And so he takes these little slices of potato and what's he do? He fries them to a crisp. It says he fried these slices to a crisp and seasoned them with extra salt to try to overcome all of this guy's...
Kind of in a mean, sarcastic way.
He is being
I'll
a little
show
bit
you.
punchy. To Crumb's surprise, the customer loved them. They soon became called Saratoga chips, a name that persisted into at least the mid-20th century. And so where did potato chips come from? We don't know. Was it this 1850s recipe that sounds a little bit more like kind of curly cues that you're frying in lard or dripping? Here we have more of the classic thin slice of the chip. So I don't know.
Yeah. Is there anything because potato chips, because, they have fish and chips in London, and those are fries.
Those are fries. And so the other one, the original one.
But it does say a history
slices
of the
or
potato
shavings.
chip.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
That's deeper.
I feel like they both could be true.
They both could be
I really
true.
like the Saratoga story.
I like that. Those are my chips. The Saratoga.
And that is why, to this day, there's always some crumbs at the bottom of the potato chip bag, in homage to George Crumb.
Well done, Amber. So we move out of the 1800s, Amber, into the 20th century. Potato chips went beyond just something that chefs would cook in their restaurant, and they began being mass-produced in the 20th century. And so people would eat them in their homes.
Yeah, they would.
In Dayton, Ohio, Mike Sell's potato chip company, founded in 1910, is identified as the oldest potato chip company in the United States. So 1910, we've got mass-produced potato chips.
Okay.
Mike Sell's. It's a weird name for a potato chip.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I guess if your name's Mike
Better
and
than
you're
Mike
selling,
doesn't sell.
That's true. Then we have in New England, Try Some Potato Chips was founded in 1908. Seems 2 years earlier. And they are in Massachusetts, and they claim to be America's first potato chip manufacturer.
So it's kind of a duel.
Kind of a duel. Which one is it? Mike
Are you a
Sell's
Mike
or a
Sell's or a
Try
Try
Some?
Some?
We don't know. And things go on. And in the 1920s, a guy by the name of Frank Smith packaged these chips with a twist of salt. Prior to that, they had been unsalted. You just got a plain fried chip. But now, 1920s, Frank Smith, he's putting them in salt, and he's putting them in these grease-proof paper bags.
Nice.
And these are sold all over London. Prior to this, chips were actually sold in tins or barrels or out of canisters in the front glass windows of general stores.
Really?
And so the bottom of the barrel would get crushed and stale.
Interesting.
The tins, maybe they weren't
So the
cost
Pringle
effective.
is really a historic
It's a throwback.
chip storage system.
Exactly.
All right.
And then chips, so they have a slight pinch of salt, but mostly they are unseasoned. Until this guy, his name is Joe Spud Murphy, the owner of the Irish Crisps company, Tato. Hey,
There you
here's
go,
an
Graham.
There you go, Graham. Joe Spud Murphy, probably a hero to Graham.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So he has this company called Tato, which was they founded it in the 1950s. He developed a technology to add seasoning during the manufacture process. I wonder what that technology is.
Yeah, I wondered that too. You'd have to, because if you put them on the chip before you fry them, then it would get rinsed off in the grease. I think you'd have to put on the seasoning immediately after pulling them out of the fryer.
Yeah. I don't know. That
You'd
would
have
be
some kind of non-nutritive chip varnish you could spray on the chip to keep the seasoning on there.
Well done, Amber. Look at you. So Spud Murphy, and his employee Seamus Burke, they produced the world's first seasoned chips. And you want to know what the first seasoned chip flavors were, Amber?
Yes, please.
Cheese and onion.
Huh.
Cheese and onion.
Now, if you have like a cheddar sour cream chip, I feel like it has an oniony
that could
flavor
be.
to it, but
Okay.
they don't say onion. I feel like you don't see the word onion on any chips.
No, not. Well, yeah, I don't know. And then the other one was salt and vinegar. So still
yeah,
popular.
that's a popular. Probably because people would put salt and vinegar on their fries, and so they thought you might like it on a
in their
chip.
fish and chips.
Yeah.
Put some vinegar. I don't like the salt and vinegar chips, but I'll eat one every once in a while because I kind of like the sensation of it.
Right.
You know?
It's a good sense.
It's a power. It's a power there. So the first flavored chips in the United States were barbecue flavor. and that happened around 1954.
America.
So now you know a little bit more about potato chips, I think, Amber.
I do. I feel good about that.
Good. So, Joe Spud Murphy, our hero.
And Grams.
And Grams. Segment 2. Top 5 chips.
I came up with my top 5 list like a week ago, and I talked to Mark and said, obviously, I had to pick things that were actually chips and not, like a Cheeto or something like that. And he's like, whoa, wait. If it's in the chip aisle, it's a chip.
If it's in the chip aisle, it's a chip.
And I was like, no, it's got to be a flat, oval, or triangular shape to be a chip. So we had a little bit of a debate. Yeah, we're not the only ones.
We're not the only ones. I found this great question over on Reddit. And this is question asker Nick Machno. He says, what makes a chip a chip? Are Cheetos chips? My friends are having a heated debate about chips and Cheetos. Started with a simple question, are Cheetos chips? Some said no, they are puffs. I replied asking, what about crunchy Cheetos then? Or what about pop chips? They're quite puffy, yet still called chips. Some discussed the shape, to which I brought up Fritos, specifically Fritos Twists or Fritos Hoops. Then we got into their ingredients, but got nowhere as Cheetos are also made of corn. We discussed hot Cheetos fries, Funyuns, pop chips, and Bugles. So I asked, what makes a chip a chip? Are Cheetos chips? Please save our friendship.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's kind of where we were at. I've never heard of a Fritos hoop. I'm intrigued by that.
I don't know, but that's what you would probably call a puff.
The Fritos hoop?
Yeah, it sounds like all the Fritos.
I get what he's saying there's...
No, I'm sorry, I was thinking of Cheetos.
Yeah, there's a Cheeto that's for sure a puff, and then there's the crunchier Cheeto.
Yeah.
But is it a chip?
Yeah, I think... So chip is different to me. There is such a thing as a potato chip.
There is.
Like what we were talking about in the history of potato chips.
Segment 1.
In segment 1. We see there's a lot of heroes. There's Mr. Crumb, Chef Crumb. There's Joe Spud Murphy or whatever his
Mike
name
Sells.
is. There's Mike Sells. There's Tato. There's all these, but those are all potato chips. What we're talking about here, I think, is chips.
You're taking out the word potato, which worked because not all of my chips in my top 5 are made of potato.
There it is.
Okay.
And so what is it that makes a chip? Here's something, Amber. Is popcorn a chip?
No. Not even close. Is a pretzel a chip? No.
Yes.
Not even close.
A pretzel is a chip because it's in the chip aisle.
If somebody was like, oh, I've got some chips out on the counter, and you walk over and it's pretzels, you're going to be like, what?
Yeah,
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
It's a day of throwbacks for you. It was so good. So I think if somebody said, hey, can you bring a bag of chips? And I brought a bag of pretzels, they'd be like, hey, thanks for bringing chips.
They'd say, what's wrong with you?
They would say, hey, I'm really grateful that we have this snack chip that we can put in a bowl on the table for this great party. You're facilitating the party by your bringage of chips.
Your bringage.
So here's my working definition of a chip.
Okay.
It has to be in the chip aisle.
Okay.
It has to be dippable. And it has to be in some sort of a bag. If it meets 2 of those 3 requirements...
I was going to say, popcorn's not really dippable.
Well, it only needs to meet 2 of those requirements.
2 of the 3.
And it is a chip. And so, yeah. And so a Dorito, obviously a chip. Fritos, obviously a chip. Cheetos, obviously a chip. Puff, what is it? Puff Town, Puffy, what are they called? Pop chips.
Pop chips.
Those are also chips, and they have chips in the names.
Funyuns. Funyuns are chips. Pringles. Yeah.
Bugles, chips.
Yeah. So there's one other thing we found when we were Googling where it talked about that traditionally something was called a chip if you could chip it off of a whole. Like a straight up legitimate potato chip is chipped off of a whole potato. And then there's the reconstituted, which maybe would be called a crisp, where you have a bunch of little particles and you put them together in a shape, which would make a Dorito or even a corn chip or a Pringle. something like that. So some people differentiate between a chip and a crisp.
Yeah, and I think so, but I think you're kind of breaking down, right? It's like, what is, what is this? Is it a mammal or is it a reptile? Well, I don't know. They're all animals.
Okay. So we're just doing animals.
We're talking about genuses. Isn't that what? Genus totalis.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
So my list is made up of chips and crisps and not puffs.
But it's all fine because
Okay.
Are they all found in the snack aisle?
Yes.
Are they all in bags?
Yes.
Are they all dippable?
Actually, yes.
You got a trifecta of chips.
I just spoiled it by telling you there's no popcorn.
Okay.
I'm sure there's people out there that have dipped popcorn.
You can't dip a pop. You can't. I mean, you could. Okay. I mean, there's a difference between can you dip it? You can dip anything, right? But like, is it conducive to the dipping?
Right.
You can't dip popcorn. It doesn't even make sense.
I agree.
So there you go. This is what also robots replied to our friend on Reddit. Are you ready for this?
Oh, it's not an actual robot.
No,
I was confused for a second there.
His name's also robot.
I thought somebody was like, I programmed a robot to read these Reddit questions, and this is the response they came up with.
So let's see if he answers this question,
Okay.
Amber. You might agree with him. Chips are a thin slice that is then baked or fried. Crisps are made when a meal is made from a grain and then compressed into a form and then sometimes sliced. Puffs are when said compressed meal has air shot into it or pressure is suddenly charged into the chamber they're in, thus puffing them up. Popcorn is a form of puff. Interesting. Doritos are crisps, so are Pringles and Bakems. Tortilla chips are actually thin cornmeal crisps. Any tortilla that is not fried or baked to a crisp is considered a type of flatbread.
Oh my gosh. Did they say something about something called a Bakem?
A Bakem. I don't know what a Bakem is. Lay's are chips, so are kettle-style potato chips, obviously, Ruffles, etc. Cheetos are puffs, regardless of how much air has been puffed into the crisp. Pretzels, on the other hand, are a type of baked bread product. That is not true. There's no way that pretzels... Hey, can you bring a loaf of bread and I bring over pretzels? No, I'm unhappy about that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go.
I think that's good. I like the idea of the chipping off of something because you can have a wood chip, a chocolate chip. Yeah.
Yeah, the definition of chip is not
Pickle
only
chip.
confined to food. Whether it's being used as a noun or a verb, a potato chip is a chip that has been chipped from a potato. A wood chip is a chip of wood that was chipped from a larger piece of wood. In general, one makes chips by chipping them off of a larger piece. The confusion arises when you include the items that are called chips because they resemble things that have been chipped. Poker chips, for example, probably aren't made by chipping pokers.
Oh my gosh.
I surmise they're
What
called
if they
chips
were?
because they look like other things that are made by chipping.
What if poker chips were made by chipping I mean, you've got to have
What even is a poker?
like a fireplace poker.
Like a fireplace poker.
We needed something, so we're just going to take it. We're going to cut it into discs. They would be discs.
You think that somebody's sitting around at the world's first casino or saloon or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, we're all ready to play this new game we came, but we have nothing to like give one another."
Yeah.
Well, all we've got are a bunch of these old fire pokers. Well, start chipping them.
And I guess you might not make a fire poker out of wood. I mean, ours isn't. But in the day, you would have had to.
Well, it would just burn up.
Well, if you did it quick.
I don't think there's any day that a poker was made out of wood. That's a whole nother conversation.
Okay. I feel good about moving on.
And, okay. Wow. Okay.
No, you're not ready?
No,
you got something else?
No, I'm definitely ready. Here we go. Let's do
Okay.
it. Let's do it.
So my number 5 favorite chip is a dill pickle potato chip.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You like that. So interesting. I've seen it around, and it's so funny to me because it seems so, I guess it feels kind of like salt and vinegar chip.
It's real similar because you use vinegar in the pickling process.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it adds that nice flavor of dill, kind of mellows it out a little bit.
Really?
I really enjoy a pickle.
Yeah, it's true.
So this is like a way to increase your fat and salt content while you eat a pickle.
Huh. So when was the last time you had said dill pickle chip?
I mean, probably within the last 6 months sometime. But when I thought about really if I could pick a chip. I don't usually pick my favorite kind of chip when I go to the chip aisle.
And why would you?
I don't want to eat it all.
It's true.
So I try to pick chips other people like.
Okay.
But I do like the dill pickle
Well,
chip.
that's good to know because your birthday's coming up.
Oh, boy.
My number 5 chip is the honey barbecue twist Fritos.
No way.
Yes.
I've never seen you eat those.
I've not had them in a very long time.
Really?
So back when I worked at Norandex, this is when they first came out, and my friend Jason, my good friend Jason, brought them to lunch, and I said, "What is that twisty thing you're eating?" He said, "This is a honey barbecue twist Fritos. Would you like to try one?" And I tried it, and it's a great texture.
Oh, it is.
Has a little bit of sweetness to it, probably the honey, and I like the barbecue, and they're crunchy, and they're fun to eat that spiral shape.
It has a real good texture. I think you're
And-
right. It's a very crispy.
It is very crispy.
I love those honey barbecue twist Fritos as well. It's just different. I like it.
Yeah, I wish you would buy some for me once. I haven't been able to have them for like 20 years since
man.
I don't work with Jason anymore.
Wow.
So,
All right. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Your birthday's coming up, too.
yeah, we could eat them while we look at your planner.
Oh, wow. What a special day.
But hey, actually, that's number 5. Let's keep working up the list.
Oh, good point. Yeah, why buy you your 5th favorite chip? My number 4 favorite chip would be a wavy plain potato chip.
A wavy plain.
There's something real pleasing about the plain potato chip, but I do prefer a wave rather than a flat. I prefer the wave to the ripple.
Mm-hmm.
A wave is bigger indentations.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a seashore.
Mm-hmm,
Each chip is like its own seashore.
Exactly. And just the saltiness, the plainness is it's just a nice comfort snack. It is great with a dip. It's obviously, to me, it's the best with any kind of dip. Would be that particular chip.
What
But I
kind of
also
dip?
like it by itself. I would like I'm good with a French onion. I really
Fine.
like the onion made with the soup mix and the
Okay,
sour cream.
Interesting.
But I've had some other, like a more spicy dip. I've had a dill pickle dip.
Yeah, Hell of a Good makes a variety of good dips.
Yeah.
That are good, and I like them because the kids don't.
Exactly. I do not like a dip with bacon.
No, I don't. I don't like that either.
So my number 4 favorite chip was a wavy plain potato chip.
I agree. I love those, but not on my list.
Ooh,
Hello.
interesting.
My number 4 is something called a Cheeto.
A puff or a crunchy
No,
Cheeto?
not a puff. Obviously not a puff. Though I did just see that Planters just re-released those puff
Oh my
cheese
gosh,
balls.
there's something about those. And the thing is, like the first couple, you're like, there's not that much to it. But after you eat like 5 or 6, then you want to eat 402.
Yeah, after you've eaten more than you should,
Yes.
you don't ever want to stop.
There's
Yeah.
something like the accumulation of it in your senses that
That's-
makes it better and better.
I think it's the cocaine. I don't know.
Oh,
It just
cocaine
gets you
puffs.
hooked in there. So I love Cheetos if I am, say, at Subway and I'm making a sub. Well, I'm not making it, but they're making me a sub.
Sure.
It's probably a 6-inch cold cut combo on wheat with the sweet onion teriyaki. Or
Nice.
it's the sweet onion sauce on it. And if I had my druthers, the chip I'm choosing at Subway every single time, those Cheetos.
I'm shocked.
I know. I don't get them very much.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm eating the baked chips because they're a little bit less in the
Right.
trans fats and they're a little bit less in the calorie intake.
I think they're more of a crisp.
Those are more of a crisp, exactly. But if I had my druthers, I would go with those Cheetos. They're crunchy.
Yeah.
I like that tiger. I like the cheesiness
The
of it.
cheetah.
I like how they look like little wooden clubs. They look like
Yeah,
little clubs.
They do.
And yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, I really enjoy a Cheeto as well, and I feel good about liking them because when I get the assorted bag of chips for the kids' lunches, that's usually one of the last ones. Cheetos. So if I
That's
eat one of
interesting.
those, I don't feel bad. So the kids must not like them.
I have never purchased a full size chip aisle bag of Cheetos that I can recall in my lifetime.
I've purchased the jalapeno Cheetos.
That's gross to me.
I don't remember ever purchasing a full-size bag of Cheetos either.
Interesting. Because I think you just eat the whole bag.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So
They are good.
There's my number 4.
Man, I'm
Cheetos.
getting hungry.
Mm.
My number 3 favorite chip is Cool Ranch Doritos.
Oh, really?
Cool Ranch is the best Dorito.
I remember when Cool Ranch
me
came
too.
out. It was
like, what is this?
It was like, it was a brand new, this
Oh,
blue
man.
bag, and like it's
What?
a different. Doritos are so good, and now we've got a whole in it. Yeah,
It's real good.
yeah.
It's
It
held
never
up.
overcame nacho cheese for me, but for a lot of people, I
Yeah.
would say maybe most people, it has.
Yeah, and my favorite way to eat Cool Ranch Doritos also involves Subway. The best combination to me is to get a seafood combo from Subway. I don't like a lot of seafood, but there's something about the intense
Do they
mayonnaise.
still make that?
I don't think they do. Not at all locations.
I've
It's like
not seen you get
probably
that.
like an imitation crab. It's not as diet friendly, so I haven't gotten it recently. But you get that mayonnaise seafood salad on a bun, and then it always falls out because I get a lot of veggies. And then you pick up the little pieces of imitation crab that fell out with your Cool Ranch Dorito.
Yeah.
Makes me hungry just thinking about it.
That reminds me of the days before we were married, when we were dating. If we went to Subway, Amber was getting, what was it called? The seafood sandwich.
Yeah,
Seafood salad. I don't know what it was.
I don't know either.
But that was what Amber was getting. Later on, it was always the veggie. It was the veggie
yeah, I did
sub.
switch over to veggie. I do like a veggie sub.
I don't get that at all. But this isn't sub talk. This is, we could do an entire episode on Subway sandwiches.
We could just, because we've already done it on sandwiches.
We could just do sub. What are your top 5 Subway sandwiches?
Oh, okay. That'd be a challenge, but I could do it.
I could do it right now.
Well, let's save that.
Okay.
We might need a new topic idea. Yeah, Cool Ranch Doritos, all good. I would never dip them in something. You made a comment early, off air about how a Dorito's a chip because you could dip it, and I would never dip it.
You can dip it.
You could,
Yeah.
but similar to popcorn. You
No,
don't
no,
need
no,
to.
no,
It's
no, no.
already perfectly seasoned. Why would you?
The dippableness of the popcorn is that it's not conducive to the dipping. Dorito is conducive to dipping,
Well, sure, but
but you don't want to dip it because it's got enough flavor.
yeah, chocolate chip
jam-packed
cookie
in
is
there.
conducive to dipping, but do you want
Yeah, but you don't find it in the chip aisle.
actually admire you do.
Yeah, you get an idea. Settle down. Okay.
But okay, so my number 3 favorite chip is Cool Ranch Doritos.
My number 3 favorite chip, something I will pick up at the Speedway if I'm on a road trip or if I'm driving back down from Grand Rapids, whatever it is. I'm going to pick myself up a bag of cheddar cheese pretzel combos.
Oh, okay.
Cheddar cheese
okay.
pretzel combos. I would say I have eaten other combos, but I would never purposely purchase another combo that was not the cheddar cheese pretzel.
I do think that's the best. The worst is any ones that have a tortilla on the outside. That's real bad.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that.
The pizza ones, they're not good. Why is a combo a perfect car food? I don't ever eat combos if I'm not in the car, but if I'm in the car, they seem delightful.
It's because you've got a roll of your chip pretzel.
Or your baked bread.
You've got a roll of your baked bread product, and you've got this kind of, what's that squeezy cheese, easy cheese,
Yeah,
kind of
there you
sprayed
go.
right into the. But you don't have to go through the hassle of spraying the easy cheese on your
Okay,
pretzel.
so you
It's
just pick it up and go. There's no prep. I like that you can kind of bite the barrel in half and then bite the rest.
I like
sort of
a food where there is a variety of ways that you
Yes.
can kind of munch it once it's in your mouth. You could just crunch it up and that's real good. Crunch it up, eat it, swallow it down. Good combo. Or you could like try to kind of suck that the cheese out from the middle of that.
Yeah. Sometimes I just kind of let it sit in my mouth till it gets a little mushy.
Gross.
Just being real, folks.
Just being real. What it reminds me of, and obviously this is also a digression, but baby carrots. I know you're not into baby carrots right now, but baby carrots, there is an inner shaft, and then there is kind of the outer carrot, and you can eat a baby carrot in such a way as to kind of shave down to that inner core. Have you eaten baby carrots like that?
I have at least one. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's pretty much when I'm when I'm eating a baby carrot, I'm looking for the core. I'm looking for
Interesting.
that shaft.
Do you feel like they all have it, or are some grown in such a way where it's easier to
No,
get to?
they all have
They
it.
all have it.
It's like every finger has a bone in the center.
I like a good tasting baby carrot. I just don't like it when they're wet or slimy or
Yeah.
taste like soap.
What happened to baby carrots?
I don't know. I feel like it's the mass production of them. They try to keep them fresh longer, so they soak them in some kind of a weird solution.
Is it kind of like the chicken wing? It's like, what is a chicken wing? It's a very small, like, how did they manufacture this little wing of chicken? How do you manufacture a little carrot? Like, how do it's kind of rounded on the end, so it's not like you just diced up a carrot. I don't know. Is it some sort of like we've kind of sliced up a bunch of carrots for the actual carrot packages. We're going to collect all the carrot refuse and kind of form it into,
Oh my goodness. Do you
into
think?
these baby
Ooh.
carrots.
Is it like a vegetable crisp?
It's
been formed into a carrot meal and placed into a mold?
Slurry. That has been
I wonder if it
puffed
is.
with air. I don't know, because
And
it
then
has that
attached.
cylinder in the center.
It does. It is attached to that thing.
So I don't know.
Huh. Yeah,
But,
I feel like there's something artificial about the manufacturing of it, like
Yeah.
a seedless watermelon.
Yeah, not how God wanted it. So my number 3, Amber, cheddar cheese pretzel combo.
That's a great one.
I thought you were going to fight me on that, but I'm appreciative that
Well,
you're just
now
rolling
that since
with
we
it.
discussed it at the beginning, it definitely counts as a
Okay.
chip. My number 2 favorite kind of chip: restaurant style tortilla chips.
Tortilla chips are made out of corn, so
I know. You could also do cantina style. Cantina style is a little bit more air in it. Restaurant style is
kind of
not
thicker.
sometimes,
Okay.
but not always. They're not a perfect triangle or perfect circle. They are a variety of shapes, and they usually have a little bit of seasoning on them.
Interesting. Okay, okay.
A lot of times I feel like they're thinner. The ones that I like are thinner. I've had thicker ones, which are fine too.
What is the Mexican restaurant over by Gordon's in Portage that we've gone
Los
to?
Amigos.
Los Amigos. Do they have restaurant style chips?
I mean, it is a restaurant. I think they do. Yeah, a little seasoning on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And they're kind of irregular shape. They're a
Yeah.
little bit thicker. They got a real good salt and seasoning on them.
Yeah. So I like it to have a little extra. I still want to dip it in salsa, but I like it when the chip itself has a little extra flavor.
Mm-hmm. Would you consider Qdobas to be restaurant style? No, I guess it's just
Well,
salt, excessive salt.
They do have a lot of salt. They're real good. They're fresh. Fresh is always good. They might be more like a cantina. A cantina style I picture real crispy, but
Okay.
cantina almost has like a little pockets of air in them.
Really?
Real fresh. Yeah.
I'm not really. Yeah, I'm okay. I think we should get some.
Okay.
I would like to dive into those.
Okay.
And some salsa. Well, I've learned, and I got this from a lady I used to work with, Sarah Gerber, and she would bring what are those called?
Tortilla?
Tortilla chips. Tortilla chips. But she would have a thing of salsa
Okay.
and a thing of hummus, and
Yeah.
she would go back and forth.
Not
And-
both on the same chip,
Not
but
both
take
on the same
turns.
chip that
Okay.
I remember she may have, but the way I remember it, she would kind of go back and forth, and that's real good.
Yeah, a chip and hummus is a nice combo.
And you're kind of bouncing back and forth because you got some different flavors. It seems like
Yep.
something that you would like because you
Yes.
like a variety
I
of
do.
flavors. You like a variety of things kind of coming at you all at the same time.
I do. You could also throw in a little guacamole
I will.
with the restaurant style chip.
Okay.
It's real good.
I believe you.
So my number 2 favorite chip, restaurant style tortilla chips.
Awesome. My number 2 is an actual potato chip.
Okay.
In the genus of potato chips.
Chipped off of
Chipped
a full
off
potato.
of a full potato.
Okay.
Salt and pepper kettle cooked chips.
Oh, nice.
Salt and pepper kettle cooked chips. Everything's got salt on it. We know that, and we love it.
Yeah.
But then you add the pepper, and now you've got more of a kind of a pepper.
Yeah. More of a
Taste.
taste sensation.
More of a pepper taste sensation. But then the kettle cooked are also crunchier.
They are.
And
They're so crunchy.
And sometimes in that kettle cooking, they maybe twist a little
They
bit.
do,
Really into
they
things that are
do.
twisted. Must be why I like you. Anyway.
That's how you could have introduced me. My twisted snack.
And I love the crunch, and there's something kind of powerful about the pepper, and I can't eat a ton of them. It gets a little too much for me.
Ooh.
But I really like, and I think Meyer made a really good salt and pepper kettle cooked chip that I got most of the time.
Specifically the Meyer brand one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll take any.
Okay.
So that's my number 2, salt and pepper.
It's a good
kettle
one.
Cooked.
Real good.
Yeah. I wish I had a funny story. Funny story.
There's that musical group, Salt and Pepper.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Shotgun bang. What's up with that thing? If looks could kill, you would be an Uzi. No, I don't think there's anything there. There's nothing there.
Okay.
So that's my number 2, salt and pepper, kettle cooked.
We are here to number 1. What chips are left that we haven't possibly talked about already?
All the chip lovers that have tuned in, that pressed through that Harry Potter talk, they are on the edge of their seat. We've finally arrived. I tuned in for this moment, and here it is.
Mine is also a kettle chip.
Oh.
With the curliness, the crunchiness, the twistedness, but it is the jalapeno kettle chip.
Nice.
We just got a nod from our daughter Molly in the room. She agrees. Jalapeno kettle chip is delicious. That's what I get excited like when I go to, I don't know, what is it, Jimmy John's or someplace that
JJ's.
lets you pick a bag of chips and they've got that.
I don't know why I found that funny, but it struck my funny bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're great.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of jalapeno is so unappealing to me that I would never. I wonder
if it
go
would
that
do the
direction.
same thing for you as like a salt and vinegar. If you'd be like, oh, that was an interesting experience to have one of those.
I have one of them, and that might be good because I don't need a whole bunch of chips.
Right.
You know, I'll try one.
All right.
Next time you get a, then hey Amber, can I have one of your chips? And she's kind of guarding them very protectively. Exactly.
So my number 1 favorite chip, jalapeno kettle chip.
Amber, I loved it. My number 1 chip. Ruffles with ridges.
Okay.
Ruffles with ridges. It's a plain chip. You've got probably a lot of fat in there.
Sure.
You've got a lot of salt, and you've got a real tight.
You're not talking about the wavy.
No.
That's why you didn't have to jump in when I was doing wavy.
Correct. Wavy. There's three basic styles of your classic plain potato chip.
Yeah.
You got your plain. You got your smooth.
Yeah.
You've got your ridges, and you've got your wavy.
Yeah.
For me, my hierarchy would be ridges, plain, wavy.
Wavy's the least for you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I love them.
Yeah.
I eat those things up. I will kill a family-sized bag of wavy potato chips in one night. That's not a problem.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I like that tight. That tight. It feels like it's gonna. When you're dipping it, because you gotta get it the French onion dip. I love it, and with those tight ridges, it gives it some structural integrity. So you're not losing that thing in the chip dip.
Good point. Good
And
point.
so it's a nice, solid design that's going to lend itself to dipping.
Nice.
So there you go. My grandma, every holiday at my grandma DeBoer's house, she would have chips and dip, and the dip that she would make out of the packet, just like you like. But she would always get the kind of the plain ones, the flat ones, and they were good, and I loved them. But you're breaking a bunch of those in that dip.
Yeah.
That dip is getting crazy because there were 5 cousins,
crazy.
5 kids dipping those chips, right?
And that's even a chunkier dip.
It's
for
a
flimsy little chip.
Flummoxed little chip. And so that's why I love those ridges. And so when they came out with the kind of technology that you can get those waves and you get the ridges, man, I mean, who knows? If you could twist a potato chip,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if that's possible. I just had this idea. A kettle-cooked chip, a plain kettle-cooked chip, dip that.
I don't know if we've ever tried it.
I don't think I've ever tried it.
I don't know if anyone has.
Like, imagine that kind of that thickness and that crispiness and that it's a little bit twisted, and you're dipping it into a French onion dip, and then you're popping it in your mouth, and you got a crunch, you got the French onion, you got all that kettle cookedness.
Wow, it's the closest thing we have to a twisted potato chip. That's for sure.
Yeah, I might have to try that. My birthday is 1 week away. It could be.
I like
be
that
something.
you had that revelation of an
Man,
idea right here live on the show.
Live on the show. I don't know. Do I need to copyright that? I don't know.
Ooh.
So that's copyright Mark Morris 2019.
There you go.
So
All set.
So here we go. Segment 3. Chip in for the win. Now, here's a little chip quiz that I've got
Yay.
for you.
I'm ready.
Here's the truth, Amber. Can I just be real with you for a minute? Can I be real with you for 1 minute, please?
I wish you would.
I have been in a bit of a quiz rut.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of pressure. I've come up with some great quizzes, and even some not great quizzes, like Gutenberg versus Gutenberg.
I loved that.
It was
great in a different way.
It was a great idea, and almost great in how badly it played out.
Okay.
Because anyway, and so that one, there's been some other fun quizzes in the past 2 years, and so all of a sudden I'm like, I need to come up with a great idea. Have I done that today? I don't know.
Okay.
It's very simple.
Okay.
It's a very simple game. I've got a list of 12 flavors of chips.
Okay.
Some of them are real flavors.
Okay.
And some of them are flavors that I made up with my imagination.
Ooh, all right.
And what I want you to do is to identify whether that is a chip that I made up or if it
Okay.
is an actual chip.
Okay.
Okay? Are you ready?
I can try.
And I never know how to order questions because I'm like, I made this up. I didn't make, this.
Oh, sure, sure.
So what I did was I got out a random dice roller, and every time it rolled an even number, I put a actual chip, and when it rolled an odd number, I put one that I made up. And so this is radically random.
I do
okay?
appreciate that because you know how I try to
You
bring in the strategy.
you're
I'm
trying
not
to
sure if
bring
you
in
really
everything.
did that or if you're just telling me that so I don't overthink it.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Okay.
But you can't, there's no method to the madness of the structure.
Okay.
Okay? So number 1. I've got a pen here to keep track. Number 1. Chocolate chip pancake
Potato chip.
chips.
Chocolate
Chip pancake
potato chip.
chips.
There's been some weird ones, but I feel like that doesn't translate into something crispy. So I feel like it'd be kind of chewy. It would make you think that's stale. I'm going to go with made up.
Yeah, that is correct, Amber. I'm going to give you a +1. But you don't actually, the flavors aren't, it's not like you're actually putting the actual thing on there, like a Cool Ranch. You're not actually putting a Cool Ranch on there. Well, that doesn't work. You're, if you're like a nacho, well, never mind. Never mind. Or you just get the flavor.
I
the
know, but I
essence.
just feel like it wouldn't translate well. It would make you, I don't know.
There's a sweetness to it.
Like, anyway.
You don't want the sweetness? Is it the syrup?
Yeah. Oh, syrup.
Like the flavor of a syrup, not actual syrup. I don't think you know how chips are made.
Chocolate chip syrup? That's right. Oh, the pancake part.
Pancake. Okay. Number 2. Avocado and egg Doritos.
Ooh.
Avocado and egg Doritos.
And Doritos, though. Avocado, I believe. Guacamole Doritos, I feel like I've seen. There's a big thing with avocado toast where you mix avocado and egg. But why egg? Does egg even have a flavor in a
Does
chip?
egg even have a flavor? What are you talking about? It tastes like egg.
Are all these United States flavors?
I didn't do that kind of research.
Okay, so it
the
might
ones
not
that
be.
I created them while in the United States.
That's good to
and
know.
all the ones that I looked up on the internet was in the United States.
I'm just saying there's some countries where they might go a little crazy with it.
Oh, yeah, you got all sorts of stuff.
I'm going to
out
say
there.
real. Avocado and egg are real.
Incorrect, Amber. I made that one up.
Wow, nice job.
Thank you. Avocado and egg. I really like it when you misguess the ones that I make up.
Oh, good.
I feel really good. Here we go. Number 3, Amber. You're even right now. You're at 0. You got +1. You got
Oh.
-1. You're at 0.
I don't like that, but okay.
Flamin' Hot Dill Pickle Remix.
Ooh.
Flamin' Hot Dill Pickle Remix.
We don't know. We don't get to know what's being remixed. It's just a remix of something.
Something's remixed.
I mean, you can have a hot pickle. That's a thing. Spicy pickle.
Mm-hmm.
Flamin' Hot Flamin' Hot Cheetos is a thing. Flamin' Hot Spicy. What is it? Flamin' Hot Dill.
Flamin' Hot Dill Pickle Remix.
I'm going to say real.
Amber, you are correct. That is a Lay's flavor.
Really? I might try
Flamin'
that.
Hot Dill Pickle Remix. Okay. Good job. So you're back up to one.
I just thought of a better favorite chip.
Oh, what is it?
Buffalo Wing Snyder's pretzel bits.
Oh.
Real good.
Well, yeah, pretzels. That's not a chip. Nor is it dippable.
These sure aren't dippable. But you said a pretzel was a
No,
chip.
I definitely think
Okay.
it is. Pigs in a blanket with ketchup.
Ew.
Pigs in a blanket with ketchup.
He's doing like a hand motion, like with ketchup, like a banner of ketchup. Pigs in a blanket flavor. So that'd be kind of a hot dog and bread. I feel
got
like
kind
that
of like
could translate. There are things that called ketchup chips.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go real.
Yeah, sorry, Amber. I made that one up.
How did you come up with that?
I'm so smart.
Wow.
Okay. Here we got another one, Amber.
Okay.
You're even right now. Cinnamon and sugar potato crisps. Cinnamon and sugar potato crisps.
So I know that I've had a type of cinnamon sugar thing in the chip aisle, but I feel like maybe it was corn based. Cinnamon sugar potato crisp. I feel like it would work. I'm going to say real.
Amber, it's correct. That's a Pringles flavor.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So you are back up one.
Okay.
Good job. Crab chips. I don't know if it was chipped off of a crab. I don't know what the situation is.
I think that's going to be real.
Crab chips. Yeah, Amber, you
It's
are
probably in like Maine or Boston or
correct.
something.
It's Oots.
Yeah. Amy talked
yeah,
about that from the
Oots,
East Coast.
Utz or something.
Yep.
You're up two.
Whoa.
All right. Sloppy Joe.
You.
Sloppy Joe.
It
You
could
remember that
work.
song? Sloppy Joe, Sloppy Joe.
That was the lunch lady from Adam Sandler. I'm going to say that you made that up because you love Sloppy Joes.
I do love it, but I didn't make it up. That is a Pringles flavor.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay, here we go, Amber. Flamin' Hot Dragon Breath Cheetos. Flamin' Hot Dragon Breath Cheetos.
What's hotter than flaming hot? Dragon breath. I mean, they can escalate and escalate with the heat. They definitely have flaming hot. Man, dragon breath. I feel like that could be a gimmick they would add into it. I'm going to say real.
No, it is one I made up. Dragon Breath is the name of a very hot pepper, though.
Is it? That'd
Yes.
be perfect then.
Yeah. So let's see. You're at
Maybe you should
1,
copyright
0,
that one, too, while you're at it.
1, 2, 1. You're at 0.
Ah.
You're 0 right now, Amber. Let's see. You've got 1, 2, 3. You got 4 left.
Neck and neck.
You're neck and neck. So prawn cocktail crisps. Prawn cocktail crisps.
It's weird because shrimp cocktail's a thing, and prawns are like a type of shrimp, I think. Why wouldn't they call it shrimp cocktail? But would you make up something that was prawn cocktail?
Prawn cocktail?
If you got a crab chip, you could have a shrimp cocktail chip, and I would eat that. So I'm going to say real.
Amber, you are correct. That's by a company by the name of Walker's. Walker's Prawn Cocktail Crisps.
Interesting.
Okay, here's the next one. You're up by 1 right now. You're
Okay.
doing really good. Orange Zest IPA. IPA is a India Pale Ale. So it's a beer. Kind of
So
a
there
beer
are
flavored chip.
Beers that you put orange with, but that does not sound good to me.
Orange Zest IPA.
Orange zest.
Pop that in your mouth.
I'm going to say made up.
I made that one up, Amber.
It's good, but I don't like it.
Oh. Okay, here we go. You're at +2 right now.
Ooh.
So
How many left?
2 left.
Okay. I could lose it all.
You get this one. It would lock it in.
Okay.
Nori seaweed flavor.
Ugh.
Nori seaweed.
Somebody brought in seaweed crisps or chips to the preschool, so I know it's a thing. I'm going to say real.
Amber, you are correct. That is a Lay's, a Japanese Lay's.
Okay. I don't think I would like it.
No, I wouldn't like it either. All right, well, you're up 3. You can't lose, but
Okay.
I'm going to give you one more. Let's just see if you get this last one.
Okay.
Spicy pumpkin pie.
Ooh.
Spicy pumpkin pie.
You know what?
You know what? No, I don't. What is it?
I know that Pringles made a full Thanksgiving feast out of Pringles. So I'm going to say it's real and it's a Pringle.
Wow. Well, I made it up, but I'm wondering if it's out there. And so luckily it's kind of an ambiguous one because you already won.
Oh, that's a good point. It doesn't determine the winning.
So I made that one up. I didn't find that one in my research of funny flavored chips. Why don't
Maybe because it's just too normal.
It's too normal. I thought
What
I was
did
going
you
to
call it? Spicy pumpkin
Spicy
pie?
pumpkin pie.
This one is pumpkin pie spice Pringles.
Whoa! So I'm thinking you are correct again.
I
It
was
really
correct.
is real. And it just goes to show you how bright I am.
Right?
I can identify what would make a great chip that America would love.
That is pretty bright.
Spicy pumpkin pie.
Nice.
So there you go. Amber, you've won.
That
You've
was
won
a fun quiz.
Well, thank you, Amber.
Well, we want to thank you all for joining us. We want to hear from you. What's your favorite chip? How do you feel about our chip ranking? What did we leave out? What is your quintessential chip? Does everything in the chip aisle count as a
That
chip?
would be very interesting. Where do you guys land on that whole chip
Is
Cheeto?
a pretzel a chip?
Is it a crisp a chip? Is a puff a chip? Is
Yeah.
popcorn a chip?
Yeah.
Are pretzels chips?
Yeah. There's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. If somebody asked you to bring chips to a party, could you, in good conscience, bring pretzels?
Ooh, maybe
I
we
would
should
say
make
yes.
a poll.
That'd be great. Good idea, Amber.
I like it worded just like that. Could you, in good conscience, bring pretzels? If you can leave us feedback, let us know the answer to those questions. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at SegmentsCast. You could just email us as well, segmentscast@gmail.com, or you could go to the episode page like our listener Nancy did, segments.libsyn.com.
Awesome. And Amber, I would like to call an audible here real quick. I am about halfway through Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And I just want our listeners to know that the next episode, we will be discussing Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. We will be finishing this audible book for me and the written word for Amber. We'll be watching the movie. We'll be discussing it. And let me say, there's been multiple times as I've been listening to this book, I will come in and I will tell Amber, I am so mad at Dobby. I am so mad at Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh, he's the worst.
And I just want to say that it makes me think that J.K. Rowling is a very good writer because I feel kind of Harry's pain. I feel his annoyance by these characters and the situations that are happening, and sometimes stuff is a little bit out of his control. And I'm very excited about talking about this next book and seeing some of your thoughts on some of these characters because they are driving me up the wall.
I'm excited too. So look for that mid-July.
Yeah.
So-
This one will be coming out on my birthday,
Ooh.
and then the next one will be coming out mid-July. So
if you want to catch up, read along with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean by call an audible? What does that mean?
calling audible like it's not on the rundown. I just wanted to share something that's not on the rundown.
All right.
So-
And you happen to be listening to it on audible.com. We are not. We don't have any paid sponsors.
We're not
so.
sponsored yet, but you would think they'd want our 30 or so listeners
You
to
would
know
think.
about Audible. But we would love it if you look us up and subscribe on your podcast player of choice. That helps us out. Those downloads, it increases our relevance. And if we get about, I think, like 25,000 more listeners, we might get a sponsor.
Ooh.
So that would be great. So also, if you guys could share the show with others, if you have a friend that likes Harry Potter and you think that they would enjoy the Harry Potter discussion, say, hey, you should listen to these guys talk about Harry Potter.
Maybe warn them about the 25 minutes of Tom Hanks talk first.
Yeah. And there's a lot of good stuff. Or if you've got some friends that are super into chips, why don't you shoot them this episode?
Good point.
Say, hey, you love chips, you love pretzels, you love combos. Why don't you listen to this? These people do too.
Nice one.
And you can find those. You can find us on every platform out there: iTunes, Spotify, every podcast player. Google Play. We're everywhere.
Whoa.
We're everywhere.
Well, we want to thank our daughter Emma for our logo and graphics.
Yes, and we want to thank EDM Samurai for the intro and outro music. You can find him on SoundCloud at EDM Samurai. If anybody stumbles across some good Tom Hanks news, if you could send that to me, that would be really helpful, because that would help out our brand new, very, very popular segment, Hanks But No Thanks.
Did it right.
Hey, guess what? It's time
What?
for a new segment.
Ooh.
New segment I'm calling Hanks But Not Thanks. No, that's not what I'm calling it. Dang it. Let me try that again.
Okay.
Amber, it's time for a new segment.
Ooh.
It's a little segment that I'm calling Hanks But No Hanks. Let me try that again. Amber.
A coterie of collectors. Okay.
All right. Amber, are you ready? Nope. Amber. Amber, it's time for a new segment.
Ooh, okay. It's a real clever title.
Amber, it's time for a new segment. It's a little something I'm calling Hanks But No Hanks. No.
For real.
Let's try that again. Okay. Amber.
Okay.
Amber, it's time for a new segment. It's a little something I'm calling Hanks But No Hanks. No! Hanks But No Thanks. Hanks But No Thanks.
That's really clever. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, I guess.